The hospital called me during my Thursday night shift and opened with the 6 words that stop a husband's heart. Sir, your wife is in triage. I was in the middle of a delivery route, holding a package I never remember putting down. I actually thought I'd misheard. Then the nurse said her full name, Priya, and the parking lot tilted sideways. She's being evaluated now. We need you to come in. Evaluated for what? The doctor will explain when you arrive. Dial tone. And I just stood there in a stranger's driveway with my pulse hammering in my ears. Here's what you need to understand about my wife. Priya is the most careful human being ever manufactured. This is a woman who reads the safety card on airplanes. Every flight. A woman who stretches before carrying laundry upstairs. She has never once let our gas tank drop below half, in case of emergencies. She's a dental hygienist who flosses twice a day and means it. She wears the reflective vest to walk our dog in broad daylight. Reckless people do not keep a laminated list of poison control numbers on the fridge. So as I drove, way too fast, knuckles white, my brain kept blowing fuses. Confusion first. An accident? Priya doesn't have accidents. She anticipates accidents professionally. Then the confusion soured into dread because I realized the worst thing. She hadn't texted me herself. Priya texts me about everything. She texts me when she gets to work, when she leaves work, when the dog does anything notable. If she didn't text, she couldn't. What if she was unconscious? What if it was her heart? Her dad's heart went at 50. And I ran a red light and nearly took out a landscaping trailer. By the time I hit the hospital exit, I was crying, picturing ICU tubes, picturing our son asking why mama wasn't at pickup. 9 years of marriage, and I was already rehearsing the impossible conversations. I screeched into the ER lot, slammed the truck door, and charged the entrance ready to tear the place apart for information. Then I stopped, wiped my face, took one breath, and walked in calm adjacent. The intake nurse pointed me toward Bay 6 before I finished my sentence, and there she was, my wife, sitting upright on a gurney, completely fine, wrapped in a blanket, holding an ice pack on her wrist, while an elderly man in the next bay kept reaching over to pat her arm, and 2 paramedics stood around her grinning like she was a celebrity. Priya, what happened? Okay, she said, sheepish. So technically I jumped into a retention pond. The paramedic didn't even look up from his clipboard. Your wife is being treated for a sprained wrist and mild hypothermia. She's also the reason Mr. Kowalski over there is alive. Here's what happened. Driving home from work, Priya saw a sedan roll slowly off the shoulder of Route 12, down the embankment, and nose first into the retention pond. The driver slumped over the wheel. No other cars stopping. She pulled over, called 911, and then my careful seatbelt evangelist wife kicked off her shoes, climbed down the rocks in the rain, and waded into November pond water up to her chest. The driver, 81 years old, had blacked out from a blood pressure spike. The car was sinking by the inch. Priya couldn't get his door open, so she remembered, because of course she remembered, the exact trapped vehicle article she'd read years ago, used the metal seatbelt cutter / window punch she keeps in her purse, the one I have personally mocked at least 10 times, shattered the rear window, crawled in, cut his belt, and floated an unconscious man twice her size to the bank. She sprained her wrist hauling him up the last 3 feet. The paramedics arrived to find the victim awake and confused, and the 5'2" rescuer apologizing to him for breaking his window. Mr. Kowalski would not stop holding her hand in triage. He kept telling every nurse who walked by, this little lady, this one. The fire crew took a photo with her. An ER doctor asked where she got the window punch because he wanted one for his wife. The kicker. The responding officer gently informed her that the seatbelt cutter, the reflective vest in her trunk, the emergency blanket she wrapped the man in before EMS arrived, the whole paranoid kid I've teased her about for 9 years, is the exact loadout they recommend, and nobody ever actually carries. Mr. Kowalski's family sent flowers to our house. His granddaughter sends Priya updates every week. He calls her my guardian angel with the purse, and I have formally permanently retired from ever joking about the purse. Turns out I married the only person alive whose overpreparedness has a body count of 0 and a save count of 1.